CA versus ACCA versus CFA. Which is the right course for you? Before I jump into it, if this is the first time you're visiting the channel, then please do click subscribe. And if you've found any value in this video, give us a thumbs up. Alright, let me start with CA. Guys, first of all, please remember that if you're not sure and you've just given your 12th, right? CA is the #1 course in India when it comes to finance and accounts. It does have the largest scope, and I know people who've made brilliant careers, whether in a professional capacity, whether in a family business, whether they started their own thing or they went overseas. Everything is possible with CA. And overall, if you're not sure, CA should be a good enough bet. CA is by the body ICAI, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, and it is the only body which has the statutory right to sign audit reports and financial statements in India. Now, this is the best part about CA. Now, however, there are a lot of people who are choosing the other courses, and here are the reasons why. We all know CA is difficult when it comes to the passing rate. So, people have seen over so many years that it's not going to be easy. And even if you're very confident or very strong as a student in school and college, you might not have the same fate with CA. So people are overall hesitant if they want to do it. And secondly is the duration. CA minimum takes 4.5, 5 years. It might change with the new schemes that are coming up. If you all don't know, we are making videos on that. Please stay tuned. But otherwise, you got to ensure that CA, you're ready for that commitment. While 4.5, 5 years is first attempt, it does take 6, 7 years on average for otherwise everybody. So what I generally, when we counsel students, I tell them, when they ask, should I do CA or ACCA or CFA? The first question is, decide yes or no on CA. If you're sort of not sure and you don't want to do it because of these reasons or any reason for that matter, that's when you choose the others. But otherwise, CA is definitely something to consider and be very sure of accepting or rejecting, because it's all or nothing when you get into CA. Basically, every company in the country needs CAs. And when it comes to the fresher salary package, depending on where you work, it ranges anywhere from a 4 lakh to a 10 lakh, depending on which company, what profile, what is, did you score a rank, how quickly did you clear, what's your experience, what's your age, etc., etc. All right, this is to do with CA. Let's come to ACCA. ACCA, again, we made detailed videos. Please check them out. That's what we know is known as a global CA. You said no to CA, but you say that, no, I still want to get into this, right? Then ACCA is super because A, it's global. Whether you want to work in India or anywhere in the world. B, it gives you the same value and the same knowledge even in India to that of CA in majority of the opportunities. But it takes half the time. The passing rate is extremely high. It's more than 10 times that of CA in some of the levels. So what happens is your ability to say that, okay, let me do ACCA. I'll spend 2 to 3 years. The flexibility is high. You don't have to upfront commit to 4, 5, 6, 7 years. The passing rate is something which is digestible. It's completely in your control, ACCA, compared to a CA, relatively. And it has almost the same value in India and hopefully a lot of value abroad. So that's how ACCA works. Eligibility for ACCA is post 10. So if you're right now watching it, you're post 10, then you have no option but to do ACCA. I would highly encouraging people have really done well when they start early. But if you're post 12 that you're choosing between CA and ACCA, you have both the options to get into. Also, if you graduated or you are already a partial CA or a complete qualified CA, ACCA allows you to take exemptions that helps you actually complete ACCA faster. So ACCA has 3 levels: knowledge, skill, and professional. And like I said, it takes 2 to 3 years. The scope of ACCA in India has exploded over the last 10 years, and overseas it's known. I remember somebody recently telling me that for ACCA as a body, India is the largest emerging market. So you know that there is value there. People go to Canada, Dubai, Singapore, Australia, UK, obviously, after completing ACCA. Lastly, when it comes to guys, CFA. CFA is a super specialization in the field of finance. As long as you first of all understand what finance is, and that's where you want to specialize, it's awesome. Some people want to get into investment banking. Some people want to get into portfolio management. Some people want to basically just, do an MBA in finance, and CFA is a great stepping stone to getting over there. So any which way you look at it, CFA is very popular. CFA is known world across, including in India. I was just telling somebody that our placement team was saying that some student of ours, she was offered before the results came up for level 1. that if she cleared level 1, she would get a 7 lakh package. Right? She had 2-3 internships in her pocket. She unfortunately didn't clear. But the point was to show the potential of CFA right here in our country with companies that we are in touch with. So that's the scope that CFA has if you search hard enough. Beyond that, yeah, CFA eligibility, you have to be 23 months before graduation. So if you're doing a 3-year graduation, you can appear in your second year. You can appear for level 1 in CFA. CFA has 3 levels, level 1, level 2, level 3. All 3 have 10 subjects, the same 10 subjects, which just vary in terms of what we call weightage, right? In the beginning, you study the basics, but towards level 3, you study the most complicated aspects of finance, like derivatives, like equity, like portfolio management, and now there are other specializations in CFA. So that's to do with the academic aspect and the scope. What is the right path for you? So this will depend on a couple of things. Like I said, first of all, CA is perfect if you've just given your 12th and you're ready for that commitment and you're not really deterred by the passing rate. If you fall under this category, just do CA. Now, let's say that you have given your 12th, but you're not sure about the tenuity, because, for example, I was like that, right? I could have done CA, but I was not sure if I wanted to stay in that field. What if I changed my mind? I asked myself when I was 17, 18. And that's why I took up another qualification like ACCA. So if you are just given your 12th and you're not sure what to do because of the time commitment, then I would suggest you look into ACCA or CFA, or even for that matter, another course which I'm not talking about here, but that is your CMA. Even FRN for that matter can be thought of. If you are either before 12 or let's say a little late, right? Then anyway, CA becomes again a big deterrent, right? So if you're not in that sweet spot of that time frame, then again, CA, many people end up dropping. So that's how I would say you should decide based on your conviction in the course and where you are as of date. So that's how you think about CA. When it comes to ACCA, the brilliance of ACCA's flexibility is very high. You know that you want to get into finance and accounts. So that's your first tick mark. You might want something which is opening your doors for overseas opportunities. And if not overseas, then India is good enough. Again, ACCA is a tick box. And finally, the eligibility changes the game. Whether you just gave your 10th, whether you just gave your 12th, whether you're anywhere ahead in your career, whether you are somewhere in the middle of your CA, or you've qualified some qualification, all of this gets you eligible for ACCA. Finally, when it comes to CFA, you can't really appear for level 1 till you are, like I said, in your second last year of graduation. And that's only level 1. Then level 2, you'll end up giving post-graduation, which is not a problem because people end up giving level 1, clearing it. They work in an internship or even for that matter in a full-time role till they graduate if they can. And then they appear for level 2, which gives them a lot of they demonstrate experience along with the level 1 knowledge. So based on where you are, based on what you like, right? If you are keen on finance, then you should go for CFA. If you are open to finance and accounts, then look at your time frame, look at your passing rate, look at your own eligibility criteria and decide between ACCA and CA. And finally, guys, there is also a combo you can do. We made multiple videos on CA plus ACCA, CA plus CFA, ACCA plus CFA. So you have all the options that you can look at. Please do have a look at those videos. If there's anything that we missed, I don't think that there is anything to be covered. But if I have, please leave it in the comment. We'll make another video just for you guys.